Hello, this is 100 to 0 and back again. And last time I talked to you, I told you I had a neurology appointment, and we agreed to not take xarelto, instead take aspirin. And now I've had a little time to deal with that. And in fact, the results seem to be, I had a little bursitis on my affected arm elbow. That seems to have been reduced very quickly. Other swelling that I had in my leg and so on seems to be much lower. My caretaker seemed to think that I'm moving a little more fluidly and that I seem to have more energy. Although the energy thing, other thing I did is start taking CoQ10. CoQ10 seems to be very clear that if you're taking Lipitor, it inhibits the production of CoQ10, and CoQ10 is used in all of your cells and is important for the energy and creating strong membranes. So, in fact, there's just on the bottle of CoQ10 it says you should take this if you're taking something like Lipitor. So anyway, that might be a confounding factor as to whether this is all due to xarelto or some of it is because of taking CoQ10. The other thing I had is I did have an occupational therapy meeting the other week. And I'm making progress, but what was interesting is that my occupational therapist has decided that I should really up how long I'm in this brace. I think I've shown you this brace before. It's to stretch out your fingers, and he seems to think that I'm having pretty good success, but if I just wore this more often, which is a fairly passive thing, that my fingers would be able to do even more movement. So what he suggested was that I wear it 3 hours a day with a half an hour off in between each hour. I'm not doing that exactly. I am taking at least a half an hour off, but for instance, I'll wear it this morning. I'll probably do 2 sessions in this afternoon or this evening. Then he wants me to up it next week to 4 hours and the next week to 5 hours. So we'll see how that works out. I'll try to report to you on how successful that is in making my fingers nice and loose and allowing them to move more and more independently and not, but for instance, when I move back like this, my affected arm that wants to go into a fist. So anyway, so the bottom line is, xarelto, going back to xarelto for a second, there is a lot of complaints about people taking xarelto online. Many of the problems I'm concerned about, swelling and so on, but the doctors seemed unaware of it. The medical companies say it only occurs about 1% of the time. The problem with that 1% is that in many of these trials, they don't report the number of people who drop out because of complications. Well, one of the complications they might have dropped out from was because of swelling. So we don't get the best information, unfortunately. And I would say dishonest information from the pharmaceutical companies. So I will report again later on how effective this xarelto is being, but I'm about 10.5 months out, and I'm still crawling. I'm still using the pool, and I do all these exercises in the morning. And now I've added being in this brace for a good part of the day. So that's really what I'm working on right now, and I really want to improve my arm and shoulder movement. Anyway, I hope this helps. Talk to you later.